Well, Wednesday is coming, and with Wednesday comes new comic books. It's time to take a look at what's coming out on March 23rd so I can tell you what I'm getting. What's up, guys? BJ Kicks here. I buy comics, I read them, and I review them, all for your viewing pleasure. If you're new here, welcome, and if not, welcome back. Now, this is the latest in a series that I like to call What I'm Getting, where I tell you about the books coming out this week. I tell you what's on my pull list, what's on the chopping block, and what's on the maybe list that I might be making a game day decision on. Now, a lot of books coming out this week, but it's a lighter week for me, which is good. I like light weeks. It gives me some time to get caught up. It gives me some room in the budget to buy like something crazy, like an action figure or a poster or something. It's good all the way around. But yeah, it's a light week. We got a lot of series or a lot of story arcs wrapping up. And we got a couple of new series coming in here that I'm excited about. So let's talk about them. Now, before I do, got to give a huge shout out to our channel sponsor, Ultimate Comics. Now, Ultimate Comics is my local comic shop. They've got 4 locations in the Raleigh area. So you can shop Ultimate Comics Raleigh, Durham, Cary, and inside the Crabtree Valley Mall, right near the food court on the 2nd floor. Really great stores, really clean stores, organized stores with posters and Funko Pops and all sorts of memorabilia and things that you can buy, and a friendly staff to help you access it all. Now, if you don't live in the Raleigh area, no worries. You've got 3 ways you can shop. Well, 2. You can shop at ultimatecomics.com to get all sorts of variants, exclusive covers, ratio variants, and things like that. As well as twice a week, you can join their Facebook live show at facebook.com/Ultimate Live Show. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. They do brand new issues, things coming out every week. That's on Tuesday night. And then on Thursday, you can find like back issues, like harder to find sets, things you forgot existed, things that they have in their warehouse full of millions of comic books. So always a great time. Definitely join the Ultimate Comics live show. But thanks to Ultimate Comics for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get into my list. And I always like to start with the book that I'm most excited for. That was actually hard to pick this week, but I'm going with Robin, issue number 12. Robin by Joshua Williamson has been a great series. You guys know Damian Wayne is my favorite Robin. So a series like just focused on him is awesome. It's totally awesome. Now, in Robin issue 11, we've been having this whole like Lazarus tournament, and the tournament's over. We got this new revelation about the Lazarus pits and so on. And we ended issue 11 with a tease that maybe a certain member of the Bat family is going to be resurrected. I don't know. But in issue number 12, Robin is supposed to be going back to Gotham to kind of reckon with himself, decide, hey, this is who I am, and so on. And we're ramping up for a new event called the Shadow War. So that's exciting. It's going to go between Batman, Deathstroke, and the Robin title, which are all written by Joshua Williamson right now. But anyway, Robin number 11, that tease was crazy. My thought is that if they do go that route and bring back this fan favorite character, they're probably not going to do it in issue 12. That's probably going to come out of the Shadow War. But either way, I'm hyped for this series. I've been loving it. So Robin number 12's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm getting the cover A. And since we're talking about DC Comics, let's go ahead and finish up the DC Comics list, starting with Action Comics issue 1041. Action Comics by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Probably one of the best comics on shelves, like definitely some of the best art. It's Superman doing super stuff on Warworld. But I'm a little bit behind, but we got the Warworld saga is actually coming to an end with this issue, and they're starting a new story arc with issue 1042. So if you've been following this series, this is definitely a must grab issue. You can't miss it. So grab that. It's got a cover price of $4.99. I'm getting cover A. And next up, another story arc finally concluding. This is Detective Comics issue 1058. We're finally finishing the Arkham Tower saga. In this issue, Batman's coming back, and you know, nobody can save the day like Batman. So this should be a very fun, action-packed issue. I actually like the cover A this time. If you guys have been following, you know that I've been buying the cover Bs by Lee Bermejo. But this one's actually pretty good. Maybe because it stars Batman. But anyway, I'm excited to get the end of this Arkham Tower story. I'm excited to return back to bi-weekly Detective Comics. I do not need Detective Comics every week. It was weighing down the pull list. It was dropping further and further in the reading pile. So all things must come to an end, good and bad. And this is coming to an end. This Detective Comics 1058 has a cover price of $4.99. And I'm still getting the cover B by Lee Bermejo because why not? Look at that mask, the cowl. It's amazing, right? And the last book on my DC Comics pull list is one that actually got pushed back from a couple weeks ago. This is Icon and Rocket Season 1, Issue number 6. Yet another story coming to an end. So the first season of Icon and Rocket has definitely been action-packed, star-studded, eye-opening, right? If you remember the original Icon series from the 90s, this has shades of that, but it's definitely its own thing. It's got its own twists. There are a bunch of superpowered people in this book, extraterrestrials, and we're getting basically like an all-out war. We're finding new allies and things. This is going to dovetail into a new era for Milestone Media, which is exciting. They just announced last week, as I filmed this, they just announced that they're doing a summer event. There are no details besides that it's a summer event for Milestone, but hey, I'm excited. We got the Return of the Blood Syndicate coming in May. We got Duo coming in May. So there's a lot of fun things happening here with Milestone, but let's go ahead and wrap up Season 1 of Icon and Rocket. I got to see how they end this storyline. That's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm grabbing the cover A. And that's it for my DC Comics books. Right. It's done. I finished my DC Comics pull list, and my total, if I just grab all the covers I told you about, it's going to be $18 this week, which is awesome. Now let's go ahead and talk about Marvel Comics, where there are just 2 books on my pull list, and there's a bit of a common denominator with each of them. So the first is a brand new series coming from Marvel Comics. This is Wolverine Patch number 1. Wolverine Patch, written by Larry Hama. I did not write down the name of the artist, but basically, this is another one of those Marvel miniseries where you take a creator from the past and you put them on one of their most famous titles and let them tell a story that's set in that past continuity or during that time period. And it should just be fun, whether you're a fan of the original series that it was inspired by, or you're brand new to the character. It should be a good jumping on point. So stuff like Ben Reilly's Spider-Man, we've got J.M. DeMatteis writing that, right? So this is the same thing. Larry Hama coming back to one of his favorite characters. Wolverine Patch number 1 should be pretty fun. I'm excited for it. It's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. And that leaves us to the last book on my Marvel pull list. We're getting another epic conclusion. This is the X Deaths or 10 Deaths of Wolverine, issue number 5, written by Benjamin Percy. And this series has been really good. I have been reading it separate from the X Lives. I haven't even read X Lives. I've only been reading X Deaths. In the last issue, we learned the fate of Krakoa, or partially the fate of Krakoa, right? And we're trying to stop it. We got this Omega Wolverine trying to stop it. This has been like the Moira McTaggart focused series where she's gone full villain mode. And so now we got to save Krakoa from Moira. And what is that going to mean? Now, again, I'm reading this kind of half blind because I'm not reading 10 Lives yet. But I'm excited. I'm going to do a full review of the X Lives and X Deaths once I read them all, because I'm going to read X Deaths, then I'm going to read X Lives, then I'm going to read them all together. I'm going to talk about my thoughts reading each way. So, X Deaths of Wolverine number 5's got a cover price of $4.99. I'm getting cover A, and that's the end of my Marvel Comics pull list. So if I just stick to the list, my Marvel Comics are going to cost me $9 this week. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, let's talk about the independent and creator-owned books. There is one brand new number 1 from Boom Studios that I'm really excited about. I'm probably like more excited than I need to be. But anyway, this is Godzilla versus the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, issue number 1. I would describe it but it's Godzilla versus the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I'm just a sucker for like just mashups and stuff. Like my favorite book last week was the Batman Superman book because it's just fun. You just get like elements of all the different lore from every other thing. It's not super steeped in continuity. It's just a fun mashup, team up, action packed book. The last one I read involving the Power Rangers was Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Loved that. So I'm excited. I don't know much about Godzilla, but I know he's a big monster, and I know the Power Rangers like to turn into big monsters. So this should be really fun. It's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm getting the cover A. And last book on my pull list this week is, you guessed it, Gunslinger Spawn, issue number 6. Gunslinger Spawn. I told you guys, I'm probably going to cut out like most of the Spawn titles. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep the ongoing Spawn or King Spawn. But the second book that I'm going to keep is Gunslinger Spawn. I just like the character. I like the character design. I like the character's voice. I just need to get caught up on the series so I can justify spending $3 a month on him, right? Well, Gunslinger Spawn number 6 has got a cover price of $2.99. I'm just getting the cover A by Brett Booth. That's a dope cover. You must admit it's a good cover, right? And that's it for the indie comics this week. So my total for the indie books is just going to be $7. For a grand total this week, I am $16 under budget at $34. For $16, I could buy like 3 comics that aren't on my list. I could find like some ratio variant for one of the books that I could buy a ratio variant. I could buy something on the Ultimate Comics live show Tuesday night. There's a lot of wiggle room when you got $15 extra in the budget. 16. I got to remember the tax, right? So, I mean, that's super exciting. I love having extra room in the budget, but I want to know what's on your pull list this week. Was there anything that I'm grabbing that you're like, I'm not grabbing that this week? Let me know. And if you want to look at a full list of the comics coming out this week, hit the link in the description below. Go to comicsaredope.com. And while you're there, you can grab cool K-Squad inspired merchandise, all designed by me. I like it, so hopefully you like it too. I hope you saw something you liked in this video. And if not, hey, that's cool. You can always buy what you like. Just make sure you read what you buy and be nice to others, because kindness makes the world go round. Peace.